Hi everyone, Charlotte here from New Zealand Shores. Just touching base with a little update about what we've had going on in the last probably month or so. So New Zealand Shores will be looking to do these a lot more regularly, just so we can give you a quick little update every week or two about what's going on with policy, announcements at the border, what's changing, what's happening, and how perhaps these changes may affect you as our clients. So a lot of you may have seen a big update yesterday where the New Zealand government outlined it's a 4-stage roadmap to reconnect New Zealanders with the world, or reconnect the world with New Zealand as well, which is really exciting. This is an announcement we've been waiting for a long time, so it's really great to see what the government's been working on in the background. And yeah, it's good news, especially for a lot of our clients who are stuck offshore. So you may have seen us post a yellow and white infographic to Facebook yesterday. If you didn't, go have a look. It's there again, because the 4 stages that I'll be chatting about are what are outlined in that infographic. We'll also drop it in the comments below as well for quick reference. The moment stage 1 of that roadmap was basically what we saw happen when the border closed. New Zealand shut itself down to protect itself from COVID-19. The border was closed. We used tools such as lockdowns, contact tracing, and scanning into different locations to help us manage the threat of COVID-19, which has worked really well to date. So they will, to some degree, keep using that, which we hope will be of success. And at the moment, we're between stages 1 and 2. So stage 2 is where we are starting to see the vaccine roll out to the general public. At the moment, I think we are vaccinating 50 years and over, and that's due to be pushed to everyone who is 16 and over from the 1st of September. So, vaccine will be available to everyone. They're also looking at doing things like increasing our ICU capacity, building up our health system, so that if there are outbreaks of COVID in the future, once everyone's vaccinated, we will have the systems there to be able to actually protect New Zealand, and our health system won't become overloaded. So we're somewhere in between stages 1 and 2 at the moment. They're working on stage 2 probably for the rest of 2022. And as we move into 2022, we'll start to see New Zealand move into phase 3. So there'll be new travel pathways which basically reflect the risk of people coming into the country. So it's a phased implementation of 3 new pathways into New Zealand. The first is for low risk, and that's vaccinated travellers coming from low risk countries. So for those people, there'll be no isolation required. The second pathway, will be medium risk. So that's vaccinated travellers coming from medium risk countries, and they'll have modified isolation requirements. So what that looks like, we don't know. It could be isolating at home. It could be shorter stays in MIQ. That's yet to be confirmed. The third pathway is high risk people, and that's unvaccinated travellers and all travellers coming from high risk countries. Testing will remain in place. Countries will be continually assessed for risk, so it will be a bit of a weird stage where sometimes countries could potentially be low risk and upgraded to medium, or they go from medium to high or high to low. It would be a whole combination of things. Our alert level system, which we've had in place since, end of March 2020, will still be in place. So if there's a massive outbreak, they will use local or regional alert level changes in order to monitor that. The pathway that will, of course, be of most interest to all of our clients will be that stage 4 of that roadmap. And what that looks like is quarantine travel for vaccinated travellers who return a negative test. So at the moment, for anyone who is able to enter New Zealand, there is, you need to have a negative pre-departure test, 72 hours at least before departing, and then obviously in MIQ they test. But once they get to that stage 4 of that roadmap, it will look like no managed isolation at all as long as you're vaccinated, but you will still have to return a negative COVID test. They're looking at rapid testing at the airport, plus pre-departure testing, and whether you have to undergo other testing maybe in the first few days. We're not sure yet. That's still to be confirmed. MIQ, or managed isolation, will still be in place for unvaccinated travellers. So looks like the way that we've been used to travelling for the last 100 years basically is set to change. So vaccines will be required for the near future at least. We will still, of course, have public health measures in place, like scanning of QR codes when you go into venues or restaurants or businesses, just to help track people. And, booster vaccinations may be required for the New Zealand public. So all of these little things, they are still figuring out, but at least we've got that plan. We can, keep you updated basically as that plan evolves and as we start to see certain things come into effect. So that's our little announcement on the roadmap out of COVID. We've also got a few other things that are happening in the next little while. So as of September, the border exemption for the 300 teachers, which they have advised us on, that starts kicking off. So if you are one of those 300 teachers and you receive a job offer with a school who has approval from the ministry to hire from offshore, then you'll be able to apply for a critical purpose visitor visa to travel to New Zealand. Once you are onshore, the process remains the same. You'll be able to apply for an essential skills work visa for you, and then if you have a partner and children, they will get partnership work visas for the partner and student or visitor visas for the children. Plus, you'll still be able to apply for residence under the skilled migrant category. So that's another thing we're still waiting for a bit of information on, and hopefully we start to see that come through in the next couple of weeks. What else have we got? Updated policy. There was an announcement, oh gosh, 3 or 4 weeks ago now, where they talked about anyone who is currently in New Zealand on an essential skills work visa can obtain a further 24-month work visa without having to provide new medicals or police certificates if they're staying in the same job. They've now just made an amendment to policy that states it's the same for those people's partners and children. So if you are the essential skills work visa holder and you're applying for that 2-year work visa, your partner and children do not have to provide new medicals or police certificates either, even if it's been more than 36 months since they've had a medical or more than 24 months since they have provided a police certificate. So that's a really great development. On the New Zealand Shores front, we have had 22 healthcare workers approved for entry since the start of the month, so that's really great. Combination of people. We have got doctors of all flavours, nurses, physiotherapists, occupational therapists. I've had a speech therapist approved, a few psychologists, so yeah, a whole raft of people, but we're at 22 already and it's not even halfway through the month. We've also had 5 other critical workers approved for various different things, some coming in on short-term contracts, some coming in permanently. So that's really great as well. We're getting very, very knowledgeable around those other critical worker border exemptions. And we're still awaiting the outcome of another 3 of those. So fingers crossed that those go well for those people. We've also had a little bit of a win where we have had 2 people pulled out of the non-priority queue for the skilled migrant category and receive prioritisation even though they didn't fit the criteria of occupational registration or high remuneration. So we made a case to immigration for those 2 people based on their unique circumstances, and these weren't run-of-the-mill, I just want residence quickly. There was really special circumstances that went into those requests, but immigration took about a week to assess that information, and both people, both families got pulled out of the standard queue and popped into the priority queue, and they've both already received their residence visas. So that's really exciting. So yeah, we're happy to chat about how we can help on that front, but it's definitely not something that we can do for everyone. It does really come down to what, mitigating circumstances there are for you and your family, and mostly your employer. And we are also working on a few things behind the scenes for New Zealand Shores. So we have some really exciting news to come, which will be revealed in the next few weeks. So watch out for that as well. Will definitely help us be able to provide a better service to you, our clients. So yeah, look out for that little bit of information. Hopefully we can tell you more in the next week or so. So yeah, that's kind of my little blurb for this week. As always, feel free to reach out to your advisor directly if you're already a client. Feel free to send a general inquiry through to info@newzealandshores.com if you've got any questions, or if you would like your eligibility assessed, reach out. Or if you have any questions on the things I've spoken about today, then please do just let us know and we will see how we can help. Have a great weekend, everyone, and hopefully we will be in touch again soon. Bye.